A new report claims that the Assassin's Creed Shadows creative director says his team at Ubisoft will listen to, quote, good and warranted criticism. Roll this up over at phantompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. This report comes to us from YouTuber Genki Gamer, who reported that he conducted an interview during an Assassin's Creed Shadows showcase in Kyoto, Japan. And during that interview, he asked about the various controversies surrounding the game in Japan. Genki Gamer reported Dumont responded, "He told me that the team are focused on the game. They are trying to listen to the Japanese fans, and if there is good and warranted criticism, they will try to take it in. But on the whole, they're mainly focused on delivering an outstanding game." He added, "And they said it was an honor to be visiting Japan at this time." So that is the gist of the report. There were also some other details here indicating that the game's main story is expected to take between 30 to 40 hours to complete. However, with various side quests and recruitment missions, the game will be about 80 hours or more. Furthermore, he shared that Ubisoft is looking at implementing a new game plus mode following the game's initial release. So let's go back to what this report here about what Jonathan Dumont said, saying that they will listen if there is good and warranted criticism. So that begs the question, what is good and warranted criticism? What does that actually entail? I think we can go back to previous comments made by Assassin's Creed executive producer Mark Alexis Cote that criticizing the game for being woke or being DEI does not warrant it being deemed good or warranted in the view of Ubisoft, because this is what Mark Alexis Cote said at the end of last year during a BAFTA masterclass appearance. He said, "In today's shifting cultural landscape, we face an additional and unforeseen challenge as discussions around representation and inclusivity in media become increasingly prominent. These conversations can influence how our games are perceived, but rather than shy away from those conversations, we should see them as an opportunity. Assassin's Creed has always been about exploring the full spectrum of human history, and by its very nature, that history is diverse. Staying true to history means embracing the richness of human perspectives without compromise. For example, in Assassin's Creed Shadows, we highlight figures both fictional, like Naue, a Japanese woman warrior, and historical, like Yasuke, the African-born samurai. While the inclusion of a black samurai in feudal Japan has sparked questions and even controversy, Naue as a fictional character has also faced scrutiny for her gender. But just as Yasuke's presence in Japanese history is fact, so too are the stories of women who defied societal expectations and took up arms in times of conflict. So while both Naue and Yasuke's stories are works of historical fiction, they reflect the collision of different worlds, cultures, and roles, and their inclusion is precisely the kind of narrative that Assassin's Creed seeks to tell, one that reflects the complexity and interconnectedness of our shared history. He then added, "We've consistently introduced protagonists from diverse racial, ethnic, and gender identities. History is inherently diverse, and so is Assassin's Creed and the stories we tell. So to be clear, our commitment to inclusivity is grounded in historical authenticity and respect for diverse perspectives, not driven by modern agendas." So that is what he said at the end of last year. I doubt he's actually changed his mind on any of this stuff. So I think that does kind of provide some color as to what Jonathan Dumont here is saying would be considered good and warranted criticism. Any kind of criticism against the DEI woke agenda that Ubisoft is clearly pushing with this game. It's all over their main website. He's literally saying that's what they're doing here in this BAFTA interview. They are going to say that that is not good and warranted, and they have no intention of listening to anybody about that. It'll be interesting to see if they will maybe begin to listen if the sales for this game absolutely tank, as we saw with Star Wars Outlaws last year. Did not go well for them, and I think we're going to see something similar here with Assassin's Creed Shadows. We are going to see soft sales. That is not going to meet expectations. I think a lot of people have already made up their mind about this game. They have no intention of playing this game because they see that it is chock full of the DEI and woke agenda, and they don't really care what Ubisoft has to say moving forward because they've already made up their mind. I know I've made up my mind, and I do not intend to play this game whatsoever. So Jonathan Dumont and the team at Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ubisoft might say that they might be listening if there is good and warranted criticism. Well, I won't be listening to them unless there is good and warranted changes made to the game to root out the woke agenda. So it goes both ways, and I think they are going to be the ones that are going to find out what happens when you don't listen to good and warranted criticism when it comes to their DEI and woke agenda. But let me know what you guys make of this report. What do you make of what Jonathan Dumont said to Genki Gamer here? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.